and gentlemen, to whom it concerns, it's The Late Late Show. And here is your host, Gay Byrne.
Guest, way ahead of his time. Look at him standing there winking at everybody. This man arranged to get his songs banned before that became the in thing. He had to cancel a tour of America because of a musician strike, when being a musician in Ireland meant nothing. He played goalkeeper for Athlone town long before the ban was lifted, and was brave enough to do it. He had a floating pub on the Shannon at a time when waterside drinking was something they did in Holland or one of them foreign places. Throughout it all, though, he had a passion to provide the Midlands with sentimental, nostalgic, old ballroom, easy listening. And 30 years later, he's still doing that. One of the few people in Irish show business who's on the go nearly as long as myself, based in the Midlands. Would you welcome, please, Mr. Jer Flynn. Easy ballroom listening. There he is, Jer Flynn.
Words are such a wonderful meaning.
Welcome to my world. Come on in. Oh, what? I'm here. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Step into my heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world. Built with you in mind. Knock and the door will open.
Seek and you will find. Ask and it will be given. The key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world. Won't you come on in? Miracles, I guess, still happen now and then. Step into my heart. Leave your cares behind. Welcome to my world, built with you in mind. Knock and the door will open. Seek and you will find. Ask and it will be given. The key to this world of mine. I'll be waiting here with my arms unfurled, waiting just for you. Welcome to my world.
I remember that night well, indeed. I think it's about 45 years old. Church Street Traders was great, and they used to have annual dances, and you can see all the information there the nights it was on Thursday nights. And as a very special one, there was the Royalettes who came down from Dublin first. Syd Shine, dancing 9 to 2, admission 6 and 6. Spot prizes for every dance. I'll never forget it, good God. Yeah, this is one of our personalities, this fella up here. You can see him. He has 3 legs, actually. He didn't never got paid. And then he came every night with us. And then I come right down to the 4th Degree band we had, indeed, with Frankie MacDonald in the middle, Frank Reed on the right, Dennis Prendergast next, and then the Hawk hymn was there as well. And it was for the AIT graduations. I can't remember the year. Yeah, folks, would you believe it, I'm just looking here as well, in passing through my room here, I can't leave it out, that Tumble-Down shack in Athlone. Well, I'm singing that the whole time. We can never leave it out of the programme. Well, you know, folks, this is Syd Shine, if you can see him there. And Syd was owner of the Crescent Ballroom, many things. He was a lifetime on the River Shannon, and noted for it as well. And then, of course, he had big bands, or small bands, but he had the same Showband. And I'll never forget that, because we travelled all over the world, so we did. And, you know, safe journey, Syd. But now look at, folks. The Crescent Ballroom, there's a better shot of it, actually. And the shop was there as well. That was a band, that was the 5-piece. At the back was Brian Southard, he used to come with us, and then Syd Shine, you see him there, the late Peter Kegery, the late, no, I'm still living, excuse me, and then Finbar O'Keefe, the late Finbar, and the late Frank Summers, oh, something in my throat. That was outside the Crescent Ballroom, and we were heading for England and Scotland, because it was Lent, and at that time, bands couldn't play in Ireland. So we used to go over and get a few quid over there. Looking back, I'm just looking at some of the times I was on television, actually. And Live at 3, we had a great run with that, with Showcase. Frank Reed, Joe Byrne, Chuck Daly, myself. It was great. And we got a good hammer of that band. The reason why, there it is there, one of them. We used to play around the country because at that time, the group we had played all the dancing songs. People could dance them, not so much as going out. And it was great. And do you know what? Athlone then had their own little dancing group. And we used to play there as well. And then, of course, we had this one. That's the back of the Late Late Show. I was on with that with, what do you call him? Gay Byrne. That was a very memorable night indeed. That was done with Syd Shine, Frank Reed, Chuck Daly and myself. And sure, I better give you a plug too. This is my latest and maybe last, terribly my last, a lifetime of music. 21 tracks, folks, for a £5. You wouldn't even get a pint for it.
Just for you, for all you mean to me, my thanks to you, for every memory, my thanks to you, my thanks for everything we love to share, for all the joy you bring when you are there. These foolish words of mine could never say how slow the hands of time when you're away, as years go rolling by.
Oh, that was lovely. Joe Flynn there, and Because I Love You So. Joe, you're going to come back to us. Will you come back here and sit down, and we can have a chat? And first of all, I'll have to ask you, would you like a little bit of Margaret's gorgeous chocolate cake?
I don't have any sweet things at all. Would you believe that?
Oh, really? You don't have that? Well, that's all the more for us.
One in the house,
all
actually,
the more for
really,
us.
you know.
Well, now, Joe, that was gorgeous.
Thanks, Mary.
You obviously love singing.
I do. That's what it's all about now, you know.
And if Austin isn't ahead of music on the bus home, will you be?
I drove up this morning. I had a late gig last night. That's why.
Because you've been in show business for how many years?
I'm going on 49 years, I think it is. 48 or 49 years, yeah.
And you were with, what was the name of the show band that you were with?
Well, I started off with Syd Shine, actually, with the big band in the Crescent Ballroom. Lots of people remember the Crescent Ballroom. But then there was lots of other bands in Athlone as well. Even Johnny O'Leary here, he played with some of them as well, down to the years. And then we graduated into the Crescent with the big band, and then we went with the Showband, the Saints.
The Saints. And we have 2 photographs of you with some of the people that you played music with. And was that when you were with the Saints?
It would have been,
have
yeah.
A look at those photographs
sure,
now.
yeah. Okay, Mary. Yeah.
And was it when you were with the Saints?
Well, the photographs probably would refer to, I haven't seen them yet, but they would refer to probably the big band and maybe the Saints. Oh, where are they? Okay.
Can you see them over there?
That's probably the Saints. I can't see the monitor, Mary, no.
All right, okay.
That's worth it.
But they were good days, were they?
They were great days. They were halcyon days of music.
Yeah. For the week until then, more or less. We'll finish today with some more singing and dancing from our footballer, Joe Flynn and Showcase. And will you welcome on the floor the Dancing for Pleasure Club.
Truly galleons gay and romantic sailed o'er the mighty Atlantic. The Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria. Gaily they sailed to the north, with dolphins dancing beside them. Only the North Star to guide them. The Pinta, the Nina, and the Santa Maria. Day after day they traveled alone, with silken banners unfurled. Day after day until it was known they had found another world. So that's how
if you put all of the years that they have been in show business together. Let me introduce you to them. They're here beside me on the couch. Syd Shine, and beside Syd is Frank Reid, and then Joe Flynn. And Joe, the lads were telling me that they're the adults, you're the baby, really.
I'm 70, I'm the baby now. Mary.
Imagine. And Syd, what age are you?
I'm 82 coming up.
And what about you, Frank?
July.
Will be 81 in June.
All right, so my goodness me, you've been at it for a long time. People will remember you, Syd, from the Syd Shine Orchestra.
The big days, big band days, yes. Yeah,
but you must have lovely memories of them.
Oh yes, yeah, wonderful, yeah.
And what I think is wonderful is that you're all still playing away.
Well, we keep trying, yeah.
Frank, you have memories of the emergency and playing the fiddle at dances.
In the States, yeah, for a while, yeah. And of course...
that can't have been easy getting to those places, was it?
In America, well, mostly Irish music they want over there. They've no time for anything, only Irish music. What in beach parties.
south of the border, down Mexico way. That's where I fell in love, when stars above came out to play. And now as I wonder, my thoughts ever stray, south of the border, down Mexico way.
For some dancing in the old-fashioned way, and maybe some of our friends today will do just that. It's the music of Joe Flynn and Showcase.
Oh, play to me, gypsy, the moon's high above. Oh, play me your serenade, the song I love.
To the travels. You have a lovely voice, my friend, I have to tell you that. Join us in one moment.
Second break for music now is coming up, and we're bringing us back in time with Truly Fair medley. Will you welcome, please, Joe Flynn and Showcase. First of all.
Truly, truly fair, truly, truly fair, how I love my truly fair. Their song. Truly, truly fair, truly, truly fair, how I love my truly fair. Their songs to sing her, trinkets to bring her, flowers for her golden hair. Oh, I'm going to marry her, love her till I die. There ain't no living alone. Oh, truly, truly fair.
There's no one else but you. Your Irish eyes have conquered me. Whatever you will, I do.
Yeah, there's, you know, several names, but this thing about the Hawk, folks, it is related to football, of course. And we used to play in the Stationers Field, the station affectionately known as the Stationers, over beside the railway station. And I was with a team called St. Mary's. And we used to play defenders against attackers. And that was part of this training. And I was in goal, and the boys used to meet, and we'd have the 5 against 5, and fellas would be tipping back and tipping back and tipping back and tipping forward. So anyway, I can't make names because all the friends are gone, but this guy in the forwards came over, and the ball was put right over to him, and he headed it out of my reach, and I flung myself because I was a young fella and I could throw myself around the place, and I knocked it away with my hand. But then one of the guys on his side said, "Jeez, you look at, why you should have flashed it past him. Why didn't you do it? Do you know? I don't know why." And you had it just there. And he turned back, the fellow who missed, he said, "I did my best." He said, "He has a fucking eye like a hawk. That's what he has." Yeah, another incident actually about the Stationers Field and the football folks. I remember, because we used to do the training, as I told you already, but the Crescent Ballroom was going through a second extension, and the year would have been, I'm nearly sure, about 1949 or 1950. And we were playing a little game, and the boys used to rehearse up there, the Crescent band used to rehearse, we were getting ready for the big opening of this second section. And we were playing it all, and I could hear the music, and I also had to keep in goal because the boy was in goal and the defenders are there and the attackers are there and all that. And all of a sudden didn't I hear a number coming up from the Crescent, a number I saw, and I happened just to turn round and I looked into him, and then the ball flashed past me into the bloody net. And all of a sudden 3 or 4 nearly bit me. They said, "What the hell are you doing there?" I said, "Sure, what?" I had to look over. That's the Crescent, as you know yourself. And they're opened in about 2 months' time. And I'll tell you something, fellas, whether you believe it or not, someday I'm going to sing with that band. Well, this is the entrance, just here to the Crescent Ballroom. Way, way back, folks. When it was built, I think it was around, 1939, but that's all that's left of it. Right, folks, here we are at the site of the Crescent Ballroom, and this is the original, just behind me here, first Crescent as we called it, beautiful. And then in 1951, have a look at it, Syd Shine built the second one, and that was the one that everybody went before the big one. There were 2 great buildings, and then on the Sundays and all that, just over here was the field, the Stationers Field, where I played all my football years ago. you know, we couldn't go away without showing you the stairs. And this was to the back of the ballroom, actually, you know, way back. And we collect all the autographs coming down for the bands going up and coming down. It was great. It was a great time. But at the time, we were well able to go up them stairs. I wouldn't be able to go up them now, I can show you. So look, I packed up the football and I looked at this. I said, sure, the Crescent Ballroom. And folks, you know, looking back, it's a great phrase or term. I joined Syd Shine in 1954, I think it was 54, and I went through a long time. That's with the big band. And I packed up football. I did get 2 professional offers, but I said, bye-bye football, I want to stay with this. And I stayed with Syd Shine right through the big band, down to Syd and the Saints, and eventually with the Saints. And we travelled literally all over the world at the time. We were in America twice, England several times, Scotland, you name it, and we were there.
Everybody do it. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in, I want to be here in that number. Oh, when the saints go marching. Right, lads, let's hear the band, yeah.
On the banks of the River Shannon in Athlone in County Westmeath, a very special reunion is underway. The band performing here today for the first time in several decades at Watergate Quay is one of the country's most successful from the Showband's era.
Right, we go. Oh, when Syd Shine go marching in. Oh, when
a group of musicians and singers who travelled the length and breadth of the country during the 1960s, toured the UK and the United States, and made their mark wherever they went.
Let's do it, lads. Here we go. Oh, marching in.
The truth is, Syd and the Saints was one of Ireland's finest show bands, and today they're back together again to pay tribute to the man they called the Commodore, band leader Syd Shine, hale and hearty, still playing the keyboards and about to celebrate his 90th birthday.
Oh, when the band begins to play, I want to be here in that number. Oh, when the band goes marching in. Yeah, well done, Saints. Thank you.
Syd Shine was born into music. His family owned the old Crescent Ballroom in Athlone. His own band toured the country, but still played there twice a week. And a generation of people from right across the Midlands and beyond came to dance there.
Yeah, there's a great photo gallery, folks, here. You can see them, the old lamplighter. And then we have, by the way, Lily Marlene and the wedding of Lily Marlene. You see, folks, there was 2 songs. Actually, you can find them on my new disc, 21 tracks. And it's called The Wedding of Lily Marlene. It's a story, and it'll take me too long to tell you. And then a multitude of people associated with me and with music. I can't go through them all. The camera, I think, can pick up a good few of them coming in. And another aspect, of course, with Freddie Card. Poor Freddie died indeed a while ago. He was a great man for the videos. And we did a lot of stuff really on the round, out there somewhere. But they're very, very well look at them, folks, and I can tell you, you'll see some great stuff.
Morning to deal with something that has come up in Athlone town and which very, very few people have been unaware of. Seemingly last night in the pub scene in Connaught Street, something very unprecedented in the trade arose. Mr. Joe Higgins actually served everybody who came into the pub free drink
from 10 o'clock until 11:30. Now, in the wake of that, Paddy McCall and some of the traders in Connacht Street have become very annoyed. And I, this morning, went and did my interview and research around the town, and the first man I found was a very regular, good customer of Paddy McCall, and he seems to be a bit peeved about the whole situation. Mr. Vinnie Murray, what would you like to say about this thing from what Joe did last night?
Well, a decent man.
Joe Higgins?
Yeah, very decent.
And do you think what he did should be done by the rest of the publicans now and again?
Yeah, I think one on a Monday night, another Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night.
Yes. Yeah. Do you think yourself that Joe Higgins would repeat this before Christmas?
He is. He told me himself he's going to.
Yes. And in your opinion, who should be next to do this gesture?
Paddy McCall.
And why is that? Why do you say that?
Well, that's the way it should work. Paddy McCall, Higgins, go round into the Angler's Rest.
And
then to the Castle Inn.
Yes. And is the Angler's Rest another one that should do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And in your opinion, who would have the best business in that area without giving something for nothing?
Oh, Paddy McCall.
I see. So you would cite Paddy McCall at the moment as the reneger.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you reckon it's high time that he would do something?
He should do something, yeah.
Like what, Mr. Murray?
Well, he should have a happy hour, as well as one free night, from 10 to 11:30.
Yeah. And mostly spirits, is it?
Oh, yeah.
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 We do believe it's a
And the adult pint
problems
then
in-
is to wash them down, you know?
Yeah, but there's big problems in fitting pints, so it'd be easier to put brandy up, isn't that right?
Yeah, but you want an old pint to wash them down, you know?
As well,
Yeah.
And you think that should be done?
Should be done.
And then after the Palace Bar, who?
The Angler's Rest. Then the Castle Inn.
Oh, yeah. Castle Inn.
Yeah, and Sean's Bear.
Good afternoon. Sorry, folks. Sorry to butt in. Sorry to butt into your Christmas drinking right in the middle of November. But we just said we'd pop in here today, this afternoon, because a certain amount of things have happened right through the week. And we're certainly not going into the political end, because that's far too involved, especially in a house like this. Thank you very much, landlord, for allowing us this little time to get into your clientele, and I'm sure that we're not going to go out, we're not going to abuse the clientele, but we're going to find out certain facts. Do you mind, Vincent? Would you like to the same thing? Yeah.
Vincent Dooley's Friday night.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to call in Doc Carroll, because Doc Carroll is a very good friend to us all and well known, and Doc would elaborate on that. You were called out. Does this thing ever happen in Mayo, to your knowledge?
No. I was called out this morning at 4 o'clock. I had to treat 14 people suffering from alcoholic poisoning.
And what was it due to?
Festy Byrne fell out. Chuck Daly gave me a hand. I called Chuck Daly at about 4:30.
This morning?
Yeah, and he said he'd give me a hand. They were lying on the footpath, so I had to give them. I had to resuscitate them straight away.
Now, do you realise that Chuck Daly hasn't drank in 8 years?
I do, yeah, but he was only helping them. In all fairness, Chuck wasn't drinking.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
but the smell of the drink got to him, you know.
Yeah.
So it was the busiest night I had anyway in years.
In years, yeah.
I
Do you ever reckon that Joe Higgins had a soft mouth last night?
Well, he was looking out the top window at all this carry-on down below, so I don't know what.
And what was the reason for the free drink? Does anybody know this?
I don't know. I think he said he was trying to get all the publicans in Athlone to do the same thing coming up to Christmas.
Yeah, and why is he starting in November, does anybody know?
Because most people are off the drink. Most people are off the drink for November, you see, and I'm sure he thought that no one would call in. But unfortunately for Joe, like, I mean, they all called in.
Well, according to reports, and this is publicly known, that everybody in the house last night, there was 4 there, all got free drink.
Yeah, well, there were 4, but when Paddy McCall passed the word around that there was free drink going, seemingly they all came. The guards called me, so I mean, I had to.
And what did the guards say about this?
Well, they said they thought it was Rincosporium.
Yes, I know.
You know.
Yeah.
And I said it might have been Septoria on account.
Septoria,
you know.
That, yeah.
But it turned out in the long run it was dyspepsia of the Cobo.
Of the Cobo.
Yeah.
And
from alcohol, you see.
From yeah. This was the diagnosis.
This is the diagnosis.
I say, yeah. Doc, I'm going to call in.
Paddy McCall is actually here. Paddy he can verify.
We'll get Paddy. Can we have a nice round of applause from Paddy McCall, please, from the Palace Bar?
Go on, Paddy, you're on. Good news,
Where's my old pint? How are you really? How are things? How are things not? Oh, it's nice to see you indeed. Well, I think it's very honourable indeed, from right in the middle of the afternoon, and to leave his premises to come over here and say something about the incident. Paddy McCall.
Yeah,
You heard about the allegations?
Free drink?
Yes.
Well, we give it out the whole time, sure. You know, that was just job.
Well, you certainly don't give it to the bands.
No, we pay the bands, 30 shillings a night.
30 shillings a night, like an old one. Well, what do you reckon? What have you to say about Joe Higgins' attitude?
I think it's a great attitude.
And do you reckon he should be copied by the Vintners?
I do, yeah. Everyone except me.
Yeah, right.
I think Vincent Dooley should do it anyway, because he's the best crowd today in Athlone.
Well, you've heard that comment, folks. In the afternoon, he reckons that Vincent Dooley is the best crowd at this time of the afternoon. Would that be right or wrong?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's fair dues. And why so early? Why so early? Advent is a time for the holy souls. Why give out drinks so early in November? With Christmas round the corner. Give us, as a publican, what do you think about this?
I think it's a great idea because there's no one drinking, you know. You wouldn't have much to give out.
So it is an incentive, So in other words, you reckon it's better than giving out take mindful Vincent Dooley to come up and say something about the allegations as well. Vincent, you're very welcome indeed. It's a nice one. Now, Vinny, we're going to keep this clean. We're not going to talk about politics at all. But what do you think about the Lenihan situation regarding Charlie Hall?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know, no.
Would you prefer to revert to the free drink or to the Lenihan?
Oh, the free drink.
Free drink. I think it's far better indeed. Paddy McCall was up here a while ago, and Paddy, as you know well, runs a very good pub across the bridge as well.
That's for sure.
What do you think about this action by Joe Higgins?
Oh, there's free drink here the whole time, too.
There's free drink. So you endorse that?
I have to pay for it before I get it, and that's the guests don't pay for it, they do get it.
So yeah, I know. So you reckon it's a good idea?
It is, of course, yeah.
And do you reckon the public as well should follow suit?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Well, in your opinion, on this side of the town, who should fall in line?
Probably Stephen Kelly, I suppose, probably the next, yeah.
He should do well as well. You reckon he should throw back something into it? And who else apart from that? Kieran Flannery as well?
Oh, Kieran Flannery and Frank Carty, of course.
6,000 a year.
Frank Carty.
Frank Carty as well. And who else? And who else? Just before, who else would you say? It's very important.
Oh, Tommy Conlon, I suppose.
Tommy Conlon.
Yeah.
So in that event, so you've no objection at all to this gesture by the public to throw out free drink?
We're doing it every day.
You're doing it? Well, that's nice to hear. Thank you very much, Vincent Dooley. Do you mind? At his autumn home in Bath. Interviewed earlier on today a visitor from England, a Mr. Cook. Mr. Ron Cook. And you have been coming to Ireland for the past 30-odd years. And you have drank in several hotels and bars right throughout Athlone. Now, what comment have you to make about Tony Hughes' bar?
Well, Tony Hughes' bar is a place where people suffer on their way to 41.
On the way. Charlie High must take the full blame for this man's early senility, and therefore has to be entitled to the medical card, the green card, 6 voting cards, 2 yellow cards, and the ultimate red card. Referring to the closure of the Shannon Queen, the county manager told Counter Templar that the reason why the Shannon Queen was closed was because it was haunted. When contacted, the owners claimed that the Shannon Queen was indeed haunted by the Gardaí, 6 days, 6 nights, twice on Sunday. I know the usual. Charles, thank you very much. No, we'll go over that part. Very nice indeed. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. You want to wave at the camera, Mr. McQuaid?
Oh, for fucking more than oh, the straws on. Give it a pint there.
Did you meet a teacher?
I didn't actually meet him. I'd like to meet him after. Oh my God, how the chair, how it's like. You're young now. I'm young, yeah. I was weaned off the tit. Yeah, off the tit, I came up.
Taoiseach was Mary Robinson's sister-in-law, Mrs. Miller.
Looks like Gladys out of the Daily Mirror. Hello there, Gladys, how is things? TV was calling yourself. Yes, there's a fantastic out there. Great already.
Sniggling for perch. The perch, John. I was talking to Michael Murray today, and we said we were going to do this video. Yeah. And he said to remind Johnny about the Irish National Foresters team who beat a West of Ireland selection, Johnny.
Yes.
Pat, you probably remember the guys, poor old, what do you call him? Riley, what you used to call him?
Chiz Riley, yeah.
Michael Murray himself.
Michael Murray, Michael Dempsey.
Mickey Dempsey. And who else can you remember of that side?
Dennis O'Brien from Connacht Street. Big Dennis, yeah. And there was a few others now.
Was Billy Murray on that side? No.
Billy Murray. Billy was there too.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a great side at that time, and there were great goings on with the billiards and that.
The INF
it was even more popular than snooker.
We're down at Fry Place now.
Yes.
And Fry Place has very vivid memories for you, hasn't it, Johnny?
Yes, I can see the bridge of Athlone. The old bridge of Athlone, that's the Foresters Hall.
Yes.
And that's where I used to go and play billiards. And it was a great billiard place. Very good billiard place.
The standard must have been very high then.
Very high that time, very high. But I could hold me own with the best of them.
Oh, well, you've proved that. I mean, you're a household name in billiards and snooker in Athlone, you know that?
I know that.
As we look to the left, just over there where Michael O'Farrell's had his...
That's right.
Was he an auctioneer?
He was,
Yes.
He was.
And earlier on you were talking about the old guards barracks was down there, where that gentleman is talking, just down there.
That's right.
And they've now begun to build houses down there.
I see that, look.
Yeah. Good God, that...
Big change in the... but on the whole, in Athlone, there's an awful change.
Yes.
Thousands of change.
For the better?
Well, I suppose it is for the better. Because there's not much shops in it now.
No.
That time there was only an odd shop.
Yeah.
Now there's plenty of shops.
Well, as you can see, the weather has taken up considerably. Actually, it's very nice now.
Oh, it is.
It's beautiful now.
Stay like that.
Yeah, I don't know. But by the way, we just left the Foresters with Johnny Ferry, and we're on our way out here to my drum here. If you can take a shot at that, Fred. As always, we're here with the handmade videos, and that's a shot now of the transmitter, the old medium wave transmitter at my drum. And Johnny actually remembers those poles being erected. Johnny, you reckon it was 1927?
I know, I couldn't, be honest, I couldn't tell you. Be wrong that.
We're in North Gate Street now, you know.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
And where you're looking, Johnny, actually is that, as you told me yourself, the Longworth Hall.
There.
And what are your memories of the Longworth Hall?
I used to go dancing there. There was a billiard table in it and all, upstairs. But I used to go dancing there. It was a great place for dancing.
Was it belong to the mill at all?
No, it didn't belong to the mill. It was a kind of a private one, business.
Yeah. And as you're looking down there, we're looking down North Gate Street now, actually. And well, the old Willamills was there, wasn't it? Just below the Longworth Hall.
The old one behind that was where the office is.
Yeah.
That was the office belonged to the old Willammill.
Yeah.
We used to go in that front door when we would be late, you know.
Yeah, that's the way you go in.
That's the way
That's where you clocked in, was it?
Yes.
I see.
Well, there was no clock to do this.
I know, yeah. The very popular Athlone group Jer Flynn and Showcase are looking for a manager. Intending applicants have to be over the age of 75 and drawing the blind pension. Donny Cassidy, the very well-known impresario, when approached said, it would be easier for Showcase to get a manager than to see Pascal Brennan and Sean Welch on the same stage. Musicians in Athlone have welcomed the news of the reforming of Freddie and the Big Sound. At last night's rehearsal in the Grove, Freddie pointed out that they had got all 4 songs and downed 9 pints. He further stated that plastic surgery would not be needed after all to make Liam Jennings smile. It should be a very dry day if it doesn't rain in between the showers. And the gale warning. High winds followed by high skirts, followed by me. Thank you and goodbye.
Well, first of all, Shannon Queen was opened in May 1973. It was, I think it was the which weekend of it, and I'll never forget it. Tommy Kilroy, local businessman, and myself, we said we would buy it, and we did. And it was quite a great success, actually, folks, for a while. And then misfortune happened, and very, very briefly, it broke its banks. Sometimes about 4 years later, I can't say the night, and it was horrific, and it went across the river. And after that, that was the end of my days sailing on the Shannon Queen. I stuck to music, actually.
Here on the original site of the Shannon Queen Luxury Hotel. And during this programme, we intend to find out exactly what went on that fateful night in January 1974, when the luxurious liner hit the other side, as you can see behind me here, the other side of this magnificent stretch of water. Now, it's been going on for a long time, the questions, the whys, the wherefores, everything about that. We intend to find out exactly was there skullduggery on board that ship that night. And with me I have a couple of men here today who happened to be there at the time. And we're going to piece together and see, can we find out why Tommy Kilroy saved Joe Flynn's life, at least that's what he said he did, and why Joe Flynn banked his money, ironically enough, right here, we can see right here, 3 banks here. Stan,
yes.
Can you shed a little light on the subject, the money subject of the Shannon Queen? You were the last man on board this luxury liner, and you mentioned earlier on when we were doing our research that they used to count the money and the till, each one would look over one another's shoulders. Can you
That's
make
right,
it a little clearer
yeah.
for the public?
Well, on that night, the night in question, the last night of the Shannon Queen, I was here that night, and there was a bit of hassle that night. It was the only night that Tommy and Joe weren't looking over one another's shoulders to see who was getting more than the other. Money-wise, they were standing over the till, and as you mentioned, the 2 briefcases, the money was found all right, but myself and Chuck thought that we were a bit hard done by. So we said on the night in question, when the boat blew away and nobody stayed on the boat, I stayed on the boat. I lost my shoes, I lost everything, but everybody thought I lost everything, but I got a few pound that night.
Well, Joe bought you some shoes afterwards, didn't he? What's this? What's this here?
Nothing, but the takings are in there, and that's where I went. And there was
that the missing briefcase?
That's the missing briefcase. There was a few pound. Myself and Chuck got a few pound over. I got a new pair of crocodile shoes.
Did you?
And I said to Joe, "Thanks very much." And Chuck got a new suit, and he drank 50 pints of Guinness the same night.
Oh. Well, and the money, you found the money, and that was the missing briefcase?
We found the money. Myself and Chuck had one great week out of it, and Tommy and Joe had murder the whole week.
And can you explain?
Did I hear you say that it broke its banks?
Yes.
Well, I'll tell you what banks it broke. It broke my bank and it broke your bank.
Oh, Jesus, I never thought of that, so I didn't
broke
thought-
all our banks.
Yeah, but what are we going-
and the other thing that it broke was it broke our hearts as well.
Who was
Yeah,
responsible?
It definitely broke my
Well, Stan O'Brien wasn't broke, was he? Was Stan O'Brien broke?
Stan O'Brien got a new pair of shoes out of it. And another thing, which now that I remember it, Stan O'Brien was claiming 19 and sixpence for a pair of shoes, and I can tell you, Stan O'Brien never paid 19 shillings for any pair of shoes.
He didn't, but Tommy...
Because he got them in costume barracks.
Yeah, he was.
At a very good price.
But now, listen, you have to be fair as well now.
Yeah.
As captain of the Shannon Queen, remember,
Yes,
you
yes.
should have been last man off and you were fucking first man off.
Oh, what a thing to say. But I had to carry the money. You see, and another thing, the briefcase that Stan O'Brien got, he thought that was full of money, but actually it was my briefs that was in the briefcase, because I was right down to it. And some of my dirty socks, and a few things like that. But there was a lot of things that went on at that time, Joe, that should be cleared up.
But tell me something, Tommy. I want to hear something.
Yes.
You're telling me that you really did not get money that night out of Shannon Queen?
No.
Well, can you do something? Will you put out your tongue?
Yes.
Let's see that you're lying.
Oh, I'm caught.
And our cameraman, director, director, researcher, producer, Mr. Frederick Harrell. Well, Freddie, you had great experience with Joe.
Yeah, too much, Doc, actually, yeah. It's very sad.
Yeah, you played the piano with him.
I did play piano, and he did play the fiddle with me. But
he was good at the fiddle, though.
He was all excellent at the fiddle, but the thing about it is that Joe and I were always great friends, and Joe always told me, he said, Freddie, no matter where we play, he said, if the money is small, he said, I'll take a cut. Yeah. But what he never told me was he'd take the biggest cut.
Well, why did they call him Athlone's answer to Stephen Grappelli?
Because he was such a good fiddler.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. He was an absolute, and still is to this very day. He's excellent. Joe is excellent, an excellent fiddler, and you know, Frankie will bear me out on this. You know, he's really very, very good.
We don't talk about anybody.
Yeah.
He's a great fella, great lad.
Well, no, and Stan, you reckon he's
the thick and the thin? He's one of the best. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
In your own words, just a bit of fun. Hope you enjoyed it, by the way. But sincerely, from all the guys that played music with you through the years, and from all the guys that had great laughs with you, in your own words again, got up to tricks with you. Good health to you. Maybe 40 more years of tricks and music. Happy birthday, Hawk.
My thanks to you. My thanks for everything.
In 1966, the farmers had a row, low prices and all this with the government, and it escalated all over the country. Got so bad, actually, that people went to jail and all that. So I said to my wife, Mary, I said, wouldn't it be great, I said, if we could write a tribute song about the farmers? And she got to do it, and she claims she wrote it in a weekend. I told her, I'll bring you to America if you do it. And lo and behold, anyway, that the strike was horrible. And we, the same time, had to go to America. We had a tour at that time. I think it was the end of '66. But anyway, the irony, it was banned in Ireland and they wouldn't play it. It was between the government and RTÉ, they wouldn't do it. And the sad thing about it, where we were in New York, one side of the city, and we used to play in the Bronx, we had to go across the bridge, the Triborough Bridge. And this night we were there. And some of the boys said, turn up the radio. It was the Irish Hour. And there was the Hawk, and he's singing, The Broken-Hearted Farmer. Tailpiece, it wasn't played in Ireland, but it was played in New York. How about that?
I have an idea for a song. I have the music, he said, will you write the words? I said, yeah, well, felt like nothing to lose. Yeah. So I sat down. I think it took me about 15-20 minutes. I came back in, the words were ready for him. And he went off then and they proceeded to... Somebody, a porter I think it was, came in to Syd one night. Where did you get the song? He said I just jotted it down one night.
Yeah,
but anyway, I was promised if I wrote the song, that the first trip to America was booked. And the second one, they'd bring me. I tried to go near my favourite where I went. Anyway, the song was recorded. They went to America in April and May, I think. I went down home to my mother. Every morning the phone rang, 9 o'clock. Daily Express from London, Mail from London, all these ringing me about the song. Somebody said to me, I'm sure they must have got confused with your accent. I said, not half as confused as I was with theirs. So between us, I said, we had a hard job getting it together. Anyway, the boys were in America. A record was supposed to be produced, and the company were told not to release it. And they held it for a whole month.
Terrible.
As Charlie Haughey and DC was the Minister for Agriculture. When the boys came back, there was an appointment to meet DC for the farmers. And by the time we got to Dublin, DC had disappeared. We had launched the record in juries and all the BP Fallon and...
What about New York?
But anyway, Van Joyce was there that night. And he said, I've been told, he said, if I played, it would cost me my job.
Yeah.
So then eventually we got to America in November. And he was on the Irish Hour, Dorothy Hayden. And she played, and she was intrigued with the story. She couldn't believe that it wouldn't be played. Because she read the text and she knew, like, it was only a story. And there no politics mentioned or anything. And at night time we used to get a great kick out of this. We get a lift home from the ballroom at night, across the Triborough Bridge.
Yeah.
Oh, there'd be it could be 3 o'clock in the morning. And the record was played every night.
After
We think this was great. Driving through New York, the
Listen
record
to your own
played.
record.
It was great.
And they wouldn't play it.
They wouldn't really, they wouldn't let it out.
End of story.
That was it.
How about that?
Mind
You
you,
could sing it
the
now.
band
We're
did
going to
that
sing it now.
two years ago then. Spent a fortune to the documentary.
Really?
And documentary.
That's right, Joe. Yeah. Okay. But the farmer will be left a broken hearted. Was in the year of 66 that we took our brogues in 6 and joined the men from Cork and started walking. When it was to no avail, we sat down against the rails and refused to push until they started talking. 1, 2, 3, 4. I cuss the gal McCree. Now you listen to her plea, and you'll have the prayers of broken hearted farmers. So we sold much east and low. Now it's time we had more land. But such a bride of work again to drink the marching. To be a farmer's boy. No one listened to our replies, so to give them all a fright, we blocked the roads from here to Tipperary. Like pirates in a port, we all ended up in court, and we're signed by our days for rental parking. So with this here we are today, I suppose we wouldn't pay. Oh, you lads.
This is Jer Flynn.
I know, yeah.
Two to the bar.
Go no further. If you don't mind me saying, you're acting very paranoid.
Anyway, you have a bit of a chip on your shoulder. You gotta get rid of that.
And you've heard everything, even my music and history.
Yes.
What I know, what I don't know.
I know, yeah.
But anyway, that's it. I'm croaky, but we're going to try it.
Yeah. So let's.
All this stuff. Listen, pleasure to meet you. None of us are in the army band. I'm worried with the amount of army band lads you knew that if the Russians had invaded in 1967, all we'd have to fight them with is brass instruments.
Exactly. When the Johnny Marmor opened in 1969, actually, first of all, the first band there was Syd Shine, myself, Brian Sullivan, and Frank Summers. We used to do excellent comedy spots. Stan O'Brien was in that as well. And they went down, they went down every Saturday night. It was kind of a different approach to it. And they went down, as I say, and that went on for quite a while. Yeah, you can see there, folks, if you're able indeed, some of the cuttings for the Late Show. It was a great thing for us because it changed our musical dates a lot. And I was with Sydney Shine. Chuck Daly was on that guitar, Frank Reid was on fiddle, and I was singing. It was called, My Thanks to You, a beautiful song. My football life, indeed. I'm over here with Pa Henry and the present goalkeeper with Athlone Town a few years ago, and there I'm on the left. But then, actually, then I was with Gentex here. Gentex won a cup thriller. I was playing in goal, and I happened to score 2 goals, so I broke my thumb in 2 places. And then we went and we played against Dublin, and as I say is here, Flynn beat Dublin team by himself, but that's not the point I'm trying to make. And then they wanted to sign me on the pitch. I turned down 2 professional offers, folks, for the love of music. In the dining room here, on my hand here, that's Mary and her father, McHale family from Tulsk. They're another musical family, and that's they used to live in Tulsk, County Roscommon. And then as we go along over here, this is my father and my mother, much older of course, and they were married before God, so they were, we'd have to come down then. And then to the younger generation, this one here, Manda and Ken Duke, this one here, my daughter and myself and the missus, and this is on our wedding day. That's the day I got all the money here when I married Mary McHale. Okay, and this is more snaps of that, and God be with them. And then folks, as we move near the door, I suppose, we're having a look at my grandchildren. 5 of them, believe it or not. Joseph and Robin, and then we had Aaron, Katie,
Laura.
and Laura. 5, so there you are. And that's the whole bunch of them there. Days after being christened. Yeah, well, folks, this is Sportex Hall here in my time, and it was built by the management of Gentex. It was a sporting facility, and also it was a great dance band centre as well, because I remember playing with Jackie O'Connor down here a few times, and then Eddie Sline, another team. A lot of the bands played here, and the famous Sportex. And then, if I look across here, this was absolutely the railway station back, especially in 1924. And that was the day that Athlone beat Fortunes in Dublin in the League of Ireland Cup or whatever it was at that stage. And it must have been great tournament. 1924 on St. Patrick's Day. Do you know, folks, when you look at it, the 21st of October here, 1931, I was born in this house here, right? And it was a great day, of course, because there was a hell to do. I don't know what day of the week it was. And then, oh, hello, how are you? Great. How are you keeping, Mary? Good. Okay. And that's so. And we go and over here. Then, of course, we had big gardens up there, which was great. And then my sister built there, and nephew David and Mary live here now, which is great. Kept there. And then over here, folks, that's the old wall of Athlone. And you can see there the battlement there, semicircle. People told me there was some hangings there way back 300 years ago. It was a good job they didn't catch the hawk that time. Well, as I was saying, folks, you know, this is it, number 4 Railway View, Athlone. And that's the house, as I told you, where I was born. And that's the stairs I was brought down. Look in there, and I'll never forget it. And my father, Martin Flynn, and my mother, Julia Flynn, Nee Brown. And that's a good one now, Nee Brown. We were part of the Browns, and the Browns were great singers. Anybody out there who's old enough to know Andrew Brown, he was a great tenor here in Athlone. And then my sister May, she was the eldest. And then Kathleen Moriarty. And then there was Chrissy Flynn, Nancy Willie McDermott, she married, and then my brother Michael, and the Hawk here. And that was it. And this, just looking out the window here at the ring, and we used to have a big chestnut tree out there, and I used to run little concerts too as well, as some of the people might know, and great. And then we had a big range, folks. It was great, and we loved the range, and a big back boiler, and that was colossal too. And the old mantelpiece was up there. Good God! And then, would you believe it? I can remember vividly. Here, there was a cot, and I can remember. Folks, I might have been about 2 or 3, that looking out there, and I was young fella, and that space is still there. Could be with the times. You saw it, Flynn's house.
Look.
Here I go out to the ring. I'm going to the ring, folks. We had many a game, and the old chestnut tree is gone. But this is where I show you now in a minute, folks. This is where we had concerts. And I used to have the people there. All the timbers were back there. And we used to come out here, and I used to do a lot. And I used to dress up actually as Flash Gordon. And Flash Gordon conquers the universe. And then there was a fella by the name of Ming, and we had to get him dressed up. Sitting down here, all the folks, and we used to sing. And the folks would come out, look out the window at us. And that's it, folks. God be with them all. You know that those houses were built for the people of the First World War. My father, like every man up here, was in the First World War. And they got those houses when they came back. And mind you, they're great houses. I do believe that they were the first house in Athlone. They were cavity block. But they're really great. I'm here joined today by another great friend of all the musicians. Jer Flynn, you know, Jerry always the great man to help out the whole time. And he's done a great job in some of the photographs and the snaps today. And he'll be with us, of course, on the 21st of the October, which is my birthday, which I'll be 90. Say when? Okay, lads.
Ready, steady,
go, right, here we go.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Okay.
Happy birthday, dear Rosie. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe.
All the drinks are on me. All the drinks are on me. Thank you.
But these little words are just for you. For all you mean to me. My thanks to you. For every memory. My thanks to you. My thanks for everything we love to share. For all the joy you bring when you are there. These foolish words of mine could never say how slow the hands of time when you're away, as years go rolling by.
Shack, yeah. Everybody knows that, folks. We're going to wind up with it too. Well known by the Owls.
I'm a long way from home, and my thoughts ever roam to old Erin, far over the sea. For my heart, it is there, where the skies are so fair, and old Ireland is calling for me.
Let's hear the Owls, come on.
Oh, I want to go back.
Take it away.
To that tumble
Well done, Owls.
down shack, where the
And they were part of the scene, you know. The Owls and the boys who were in charge of them. And they did some great shows. And they couldn't have picked a better tune, of course, you know, when you think about it. They wanted always to end parties and all the sessions they, of course, we're ending too. There's a bright gleaming light.
There's a bright gleaming light
guiding me home tonight. Down
the long
roads of white cobblestones. Down the road that leads back.
Down the road that leads back
to the Tumble-Down shack.
To the Tumble-Down shack. To the Tumble-Down shack in Athlone. There are eyes that are sad as they watch for a lad in that old trashy town of Athlone. And I pray for the day when I'm sailing away to old Ireland and mother my own.
Do it again, Owls.
So I want to
Let's hear you
go back
to the Tumble-Down shack.
to the Tumble-Down shack, where the wild roses bloom round the door, just to pillow my head in that old trundle bed, just to see my old mother once more. There's a bright gleaming light guiding me home tonight, down the long road of white cobblestone.
Let's hear you, Owls.
Down the road that leads back to the Tumble-Down shack, to the Tumble-Down shack in Athlone.
Oh, it's a winner, folks. Believe me, it's a winner.
An outstanding entertainer who humbly bears the crown. His dulcet tones, still rich and strong, despite the passing years, now stands tall and holding his own amongst much younger peers. May this day be a happy one, as our best wishes we send to the one and only mighty Joe, Athlone's own legend. So, Joe, those are the words of someone else, Jer Flynn. But can I say myself that we all remember Joe from the Crescent, where love stories began. That's true. My own father met my mother there, Michael and Angela Coyle from Pierce Street, and I also met my husband in the Crescent, Frank Farrell from Crescent. So love stories did begin there. But mostly, Joe, I remember you from the Jolly Mariner. Do you remember the Jolly Mariner and all the great fun we had there? So Joe, on behalf of everybody here, I'd like to thank you for all the great pleasure you have brought so many people for many years, and may we all be as well as you are when you reach 90. Happy birthday, Joe.
Many thanks to Jean Coyle for a few kind words. Thank you, Jean. And also, sorry Sarah, 1 second. Also a beautiful poem wrote by J.P. Burke, otherwise known as Sean Burke from Coulson. Now before we hand you over to Sarah, we have one small thing to do. We'd like to call on James Green and Adrian Quinn from the Owls to come up here, because being a member of the Owls, I know what Joe Flynn has done down throughout the years. And each Christmas party, he was the life and soul of the Owls parties for the last, we think, 40 odd years. We were trying to get our thoughts together that a couple of years ago. So, on the Adrian and James, on behalf of the Owls, are going to make a presentation to Mr. Joe Flynn.
I'm Jake the Peg, diddle-diddle-diddle, with my extra leg, diddle-diddle-diddle. Wherever I go through rain and snow, the people always let me know. There's Jake the Peg, diddle-diddle-diddle, with his extra leg, diddle-diddle-diddle. The day that I was born, oh boy, my father nearly died. He couldn't get my nappies on no matter how he tried. 'Cause I was born with an extra leg, and since that day begun, I had to learn to stand on my own 3 feet. Believe me, that's no fun. There's Jake the Peg, diddle-diddle-diddle, with his extra leg, diddle-diddle-diddle. I had a dreadful childhood, really. I suppose I shouldn't moan. Each time they had a 3-legged race, I won it on my own. I'm Jake the Peg, diddle-diddle-diddle, with the extra leg, diddle-diddle.
Jake the Peg! Bye-bye, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll ask you all here in the Shamrock Lodge to be upstanding, as every one of the lads here with us is going to join us in, and wish this gentleman, a legend, that is Joe Flynn, a very happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Joe. Happy birthday. We'll do it again. Jerry Flynn, T.R. Ellis, Joe Lynn, Joe Byrne, Ray Collins, Chuck Daly, and ladies and gentlemen, the man at the moment, Joe the Hawk Flynn. Thank you very much.
For all you mean to me, my thanks to you. For every memory, my thanks to you. My thanks for everything we love to share. For all the joy you bring when you are there. These foolish words of mine could never say how slow the hands of time when you're away. As years go rolling by, my whole life through, I give my love and all, my thanks to you.
Good health to everybody.
foolish words of mine could never say how slow the hands of time when you're away. As years go rolling